So you're into manifestation. You've probably spent a ton of time visualizing, putting your trust in the universe, all of that. But what happens when, just thinking positive doesn't seem to be getting you anywhere? Well, today we're going to dig into why that might be and what you can actually do about it.
Look, it's a super common frustration, right? You've made the vision boards, you've chanted the affirmations, but you still feel kind of stuck. The sources we're diving into today point to this one crucial, really practical ingredient that honestly, the whole positive thinking world tends to skip over. And this simple idea just nails it. Your positive intention, that's your compass. It sets the direction. But you can't just wish a new TV into your living room. You gotta save up the money and go buy it. It's the exact same principle for your life. You have to actively create the causes for good things to happen, and that means making a real, deliberate investment in your future. Okay, so let's reframe this whole thing. What if this wasn't about some abstract luck or a random reward from the universe? What if it was more like a resource, something you can actually build? Ancient wisdom calls it boon or merit, but a really powerful way to think about it now is as spiritual capital. And yeah, it's something you can actively grow and invest in.
So, what exactly is this spiritual capital? Well, it's not some passive reward you get for just being a nice person. No. It's a tangible, positive energy that you generate through specific, intentional actions. The car analogy from the sources is perfect here. Your intentions are the map, for sure, but this merit, this is the fuel that actually gets you where you want to go.
And listen, this part is absolutely huge. Merit isn't just a nice to have, like a little bonus. The sources we're looking at describe it as the literal bedrock for everything you want to achieve. We're talking happiness, success, that feeling of flow. It is the foundation that everything else gets built on.
Okay, so if merit is the fuel, how in the world do we fill up the tank? This is the best part, because it's not some big mystical secret. The sources lay out a super clear, totally actionable roadmap with 10 specific ways to build this spiritual capital. So let's break them down.
And what's so cool about this is that it's not just some random list of good deeds to check off. This ancient wisdom is incredibly organized. All 10 of these actions fall neatly into 3 core practices, which makes this whole concept way easier to understand and actually apply to your life. First up, generosity. And this goes way beyond just writing a check. Giving can be your time, your skills, even just a simple, genuine smile. Then there's sharing merit, which is this beautiful idea of doing something good and then mentally dedicating that positive energy to others. And the third one, rejoicing in others' merit, is so important today. It's about fighting off that jealousy, that comparison trap, and being truly, genuinely happy when other people succeed.
Second is good conduct. This is really all about how we carry ourselves, how we show up in the world. It means living with integrity, volunteering our help for good projects, and practicing humility by respecting people who have more wisdom or experience. These actions build this incredible foundation of stability and trust.
And the third practice is mental cultivation. This is the inner work. We're talking about meditation to build focus, really listening to and learning from insightful teachings, and then turning around and sharing what you've learned. But the last one is critical, straightening views. That means making sure your perspective is actually aligned with reality, not just with wishful thinking. It's a reality check.
So let's say you're doing this. You're practicing generosity, good conduct, and you're working on your mind. You're filling up that spiritual gas tank. So, what does that actually look like in your day-to-day life? What's the real payoff for all this action? Well, a life on empty, without much of this spiritual capital, it just feels like a constant struggle. You know that feeling? You're always hitting roadblocks, always feeling stuck. But a life with a full tank of merit, it just feels different. There's this supportive flow, a real sense of ease. It's not like challenges vanish, but things just seem to fall into place more often. And the key here is that these things aren't random rewards from the sky. They are the natural consequences of building up a reserve of this positive energy. You just naturally find more inner peace. Your projects are more likely to succeed. The people and opportunities that come your way feel more supportive. Life feels less like pushing a giant boulder uphill. And all that freed up energy means you can do even more good in the world. And that really brings us to the ultimate point of all this. Building up your spiritual capital, it isn't some selfish mission just to get a bunch of stuff. It's about becoming a more effective, more positive force for absolutely everyone.
And this is really the main takeaway. You have to fill your own cup first. You build your own spiritual capital to create your own stability, your own happiness. And why? Because when you're operating from that place of fullness, your ability to give just overflows. You literally can't pour from an empty cup, right? You can't help other people if your own life is a mess. By helping yourself, you become a resource for the whole world. So, I'll leave you with this to think about. If every single wholesome action, a kind word, a moment of patience, an hour of service, is an investment in the future you want, what does your spiritual portfolio look like right now? How are you investing in your own foundation for happiness and success, starting today? Thanks for joining me for this explainer.